Hi, I miss you guys so much today. I'm so sorry I'm homesick. You have a very short lesson. When you finish, you have free time. Just remember that you will be graded on both finishing the assignment and the quality of your work. The expectation is that you finish your own work and don't bother other people. If you're bothering other people, then the teacher will ask you to move, and then the second consequence will be going to the office, but I'm confident that everyone here will be able to concentrate. Okay, the learning target for today is I can identify the main idea of an infographic and use the transition words in summary, to summarize, in essence, essentially, and in short. Here's an example of an infographic. Our agenda for today, we're going to do a quick reminder on water infrastructure. We'll watch a quick video together, and then we'll do an infographic analysis. All right, water infrastructure reminder. So right now, you should be able to answer one of these questions. Infrastructure means all of the things that help us get water to our house. Some examples of water infrastructure are water tanks, pipes, wells. Let's watch a video about the world water crisis. A crisis means a very big problem. Crisis. Let's watch a video about the world water crisis.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Seriously, a crisis. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. It's happening all over the world, especially in developing areas of sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. It's a water crisis because it starts with water. But water affects everything. Education, health, poverty, and especially women and children. Let's look at a family caught in the water crisis. It's likely they live on less than $1 a day. When they're thirsty, they can't just turn on the faucet for a nice cold glass of water. They don't have a faucet. Instead, the women and children go off to collect water. Many walk up to 3 hours a day to the nearest swamp, pond, or river to gather water that's been sitting out in the open, exposed to all kinds of germs. Time spent gathering water is time they can't spend learning to read, write, earn an income, or take care of their family. Some women in sub-Saharan Africa spend more time collecting water than any other activity they do in the day. And the walk isn't just hard, it's dangerous. The women are alone and burdened with 40 pounds of water. Many get hurt. Sometimes they're even attacked. When they make it home, the little water they've collected isn't clean. Some families know their water is contaminated with germs that cause diarrhea, dehydration, even death. But what choice do they have? Kids, especially babies, are affected most by these germs. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. And each day, almost 1 billion people are living this way. Until they get a little help. The water crisis is solvable. There are solutions. Some are brand new and innovative, like water filtration systems. Some are age-old, like drilled or hand-dug wells. These solutions bring clean water much closer to the people who need it. A safe water project near a village restores hours each day to a person's life. This time, it's opportunity. It's freedom to go to school and get an education, to work or start a business, to raise a family. Africa alone could save 40 billion hours each year. That's the entire annual workforce of France. Clean water means less disease. That's less money spent on medicine, which means more money for books and school uniforms. And if the water project is built near a school, it can increase attendance, especially among young girls. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. And this will mean more than clean water. Because water changes everything. Join us.
What's something that you just learned about the world water crisis or problem? Write one sentence. You might say, in some parts of the world, people spend 3 hours a day getting water. You might say the water that they get is contaminated or dirty. You might say the time they spend getting their water could be spent doing other things. You might say many babies, every 19 seconds, a baby dies from a water-related problem. Everything that you just thought or wrote is a supporting detail. What we're doing today is looking for the main idea. So, what do you think the main idea of the video was? I might say, in summary, there is a world water crisis that has many negative effects. Or I might say, to summarize, there's a world water crisis that has many negative effects. Or in essence, there is a world water crisis that has many negative effects. Write any of these sentences right now. So what we just did with the video is what you're going to be doing today with your infographics. An infographic combines information with graphs, statistics, information like graphs and statistics with graphics, so images and data. It's an infographic. Just like a text, an infographic has a main idea and supporting details. Remember, for our summative assessment, you will make an infographic to teach others about the world water crisis. So your infographic might look like one of these. Remember, you always have a main idea in an infographic, just like in a text. The text we read yesterday was that water from oceans, rivers, and lakes is cleaned and pumped to your house through pipes. This infographic right here has the same main idea. Water from lakes, oceans, and rivers is cleaned and pumped to your house through pipes. Oops, this way. Let's try one together. Look at your paper. Here is our infographic. It says water scarcity by the numbers. 50% of Earth's population in 2050 will live in a water scarce area, an area with not enough water. 80 years old, the age of most water pipes in the United States. That's not good. That means that they're going to be broken soon. 36 million gallons, the amount of water that leaks from the New York water supply every day because of holes in the pipes. 30 days, the amount of time it takes most water companies to find a leak in your water pipe. There's the infographic. I would say the main idea of this infographic is that water scarcity affects many people, and you should be writing this. Water scarcity affects many people and is because we don't have good water infrastructure. Now you're going to analyze the rest of the infographics on your own. You should be writing about this. What is the main idea of this infographic? This shows that people who have good sources are dark blue and people who have bad sources are light blue. Like the book we read, A Long Walk to Water. You should be writing the main idea on your paper. What's the main idea of this infographic? Physical water scarcity. Water resource development is approaching or has exceeded sustainable units. 75% of the river flows are withdrawn for agriculture, industry, and domestic purposes. So these are places that have no water because of where they live, because they're not near a water source. These places are getting close to having no water. These places don't have water because they don't have infrastructure. So there's water around, but there's no infrastructure to get it to them. And these people don't suffer from water scarcity, including us. What to expect when water leaves town? What do you think the main idea of this infographic is? Water scarcity in 2025, so in about 8 years. Physical water scarcity, remember that means because there's no water near you. Economic water scarcity, that means because if you're poor, you don't have the infrastructure to get it. And these places don't have water scarcity. This is right now in Mexico City. Out of the total population, this many people, 88 million, don't have reliable water. Water scarcity. Water has been growing at twice the rate of the population increase. That means that people are using way more water. What's the main idea? What's the main idea? When you're finished, you have to do your reflection. In your own worlds, what is the word water crisis? How might it affect your future? Which infographic did you think was the most persuasive, the one that made you think, wow, this is really a problem? What do you think are the advantages of reading information in an infographic versus reading paragraphs about it? Which do you prefer, seeing an infographic like this or when you read a text in class? And what are some phrases you use to introduce the main idea? To summarize, in summary, in short, in essence. When you're done with that, you may quietly play a game without distracting others.